Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. It is Monday. Happy Monday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. Got up, sunshine is out, went for a walk with Maxine, and just got to drink my blueberry cup of coffee and just get ready for my day today. It's Monday, and so last week I had it was a long week with the kids being gone. It was good because I had a little bit of a structure, but it was just long. By the end of the week, I'm like, I am tired. So we had a very just stay-at-home weekend this weekend. So we were out Saturday. Can you tell? We went out, Greg and I it was like noon, and I was done getting work done, and the kids they were sleeping, really not sleeping in that late, but they were just relaxing because they were at camp all week, and we had, like, whenever you get 1,200 kids together, especially little kids, sickness is abound. And so a couple of them had a little bit of touch of this and that. They're better. It was nothing like had to go to the doctor for, but just more rest and you'll be fine. And so that was what they did. They just kind of relaxed. And so it was noon, and I was like, we should go in the pool for a little bit. Now, I know my limits in the summer in Florida. I do. I really do. I've learned them. You cannot go out very long, like I usually do about a half hour, 45 minutes in the sun, and then max at an hour. So it was an hour, and then we were out there, and then we just started talking, and then I was like, let me grab our coffees, and then it turned into like 1 to 2 to 3, and I was like, we better go in. I said, we are going to ruin our chance of going to the beach or anything this weekend because of the sun. And so, yeah, I got a little bit extra. I know, you shouldn't do that. So I was yesterday, my face, I don't usually stay too pink for too long, but I had to laugh because yesterday it was real pink, and it was just real tight everywhere, because your face is a little crispy, I guess is the word. And so I was looking in the mirror, and I said, it reminds me of the Christmas of the Cranks when they go to the tanning place. Remember the girl there has little eyeball things, and she's basically all tanned out from the tanning machine, and then she had her white teeth come out. That was what I was laughing at. So I don't even know if I can put a picture on here or not, but if you know that part of the movie, it was just kind of funny. I was like, that is just hilarious. But we're doing good. So it was just good chill. We did that. We did a walk, and Sunday it was just relaxed. It was just a relaxing day. So kids, I didn't have to. We had a lot of food from the weekend, and I ended up making some ham skillet last night because the food it's gone. I think there's like little containers. Like yesterday I kind of gathered up and found what we had, put them in little containers in the refrigerator, and there's only like maybe a serving or two of each left, which is good. And then I made a big pan of ham skillet last night as well, because everyone's like, they don't love ham. The kids don't like Greg will eat it. He likes his ham, but the kids are like, ham. So I said, why don't I make some ham skillet? We guys eat that? And they're like, yeah, I'll eat ham skillet. So I actually pulled out the ham, that I ground up and put in the freezer. So I used that and made ham skillet, and it was easy, and the whole pot's gone. They ate it all right up. So it was a weekend of kids eating at home weekend where everything disappeared, all my bread disappeared, there's nothing left. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I'm also at that week when you decide not to go shopping, you have to get very creative. Not creative, you just have to make your food. That's all it is. You just have to make your food. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm like, I've got other things to pay for and do, and so when you choose to pay different things, then food is usually where you cut your budget. For me, that's where I feel like you can cut your budget in food. You can always cut back on something, usually always, and so that's where I choose to do it, so I can have money for other things. And so that is where I'm at. So I was gonna go shopping this week, and I'm like, you know what? I think we can make a whole nother week without going grocery shopping. I know it's not exciting for you. It's not Amy going shopping every single Friday. I think I used to go every single Friday. But but that's okay. Life, that's what you do, right? You just pick and choose what you're gonna do. So I have a week of making homemade meals, which I'm excited to do. And we'll have to do some chores. Not everything. The kids will help with things. They're back to like moving and stuff, I think, so they can do things. And I'm trying to think of anything else exciting. Nothing else exciting. I saw a armadillo today for the first time since living in Florida. Armadillo. Anybody else? I don't even know. I remember we came to Florida. My parents did they saved up for the Disney World trip that every kid went to. And so I remember going when I was like 12 and we went, but not a whole lot memory of it. Like I was 12, and like I just remember being so hot. And we came in a campground, did the whole everything so we could see everything. I think my mom, I remember her even telling us we went to like both oceans, so we could touch the Atlantic and we could touch the Gulf of Mexico. But I just don't, I remember a little bit, but it was just hot. But the one thing I remember is my mom and I would walk back from maybe using the campground restrooms or showers. We had showers in the camper, but we would get maybe, I don't even know what we did, but anyway, laundry, who knows what we did. But I remember walking back at night, and in the campground it had like the sidewalks, and it had like bushy plants. So I remember the leaves, and I remember walking, and it was kind of dark, and I remember looking back and seeing this thing, and it looked like an armored animal, looked like a possum but armored, scurrying past real quick and going in the bushes. And I was like, oh my, I still remember seeing them. They were as big as a raccoon in my eyes when I was 12, and so they were everywhere, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I've never seen an armadillo at all. I mean, they're not in the mountains, or maybe they're in the mountains. I've never seen one anywhere. I guess maybe they're just here. So we moved here, and I'm like, maybe I'll see an armadillo. And so, because they're just a weird, odd looking thing. So you see them on the road as roadkill all the time here. That's mostly, I guess that's mostly what I see. I mean, I do see other things. Not mostly armadillos, but I've never seen one alive. Well, Maxine and I were walking today, and I just happened to look up, and I was like, what is that thing? And it was kind of hopping, which was kind of weird. It was hopping like a bunny, but kind of scurrying, and I was like, that's an armadillo. And so we got to see an armadillo in our neighborhood for the first time. So that was my excitement. So this is an armadillo, if anybody doesn't know. It looks like it's like a possum with armor on it. You know, different. I don't know. I guess they're good. Oh no, armadillos are not good. Armadillos carry the disease of leprosy. I guess, is that the only place? I think I Googled it one time. Leprosy is spread through armadillos, so you don't want them, by the way, but I did see one down the street at the neighbors, so yes, all good things. So, okay, that was my exciting day. Armadillo this morning, and I've got a list. We got things to do. I've got food, a whole bunch of food to make. We're gonna make a bunch of food. My family is loving the homemade bread. They love it. Everybody loves it. It's a winner. So I looked up my recipe that I used to use, because I used to make homemade bread back in the day, but mine used wheat germ. That was because I could get it cheap at a store, like an Amish store. Can't do that here. So you just buy it at like Walmart, and it's like $5 for it. So I was like, no big deal. So I like the one from Mama Bell's. Her is good. I just tweak it to like what I have, it works out good. So I'm gonna make some bread today. I need to make some bagels today. I need to do the kids wanted some soups for the week to eat, like cheesy broccoli and tomato soup. And then I think I'm gonna try my hand at some homemade tortillas. Tortillas today? I've never made homemade tortillas. Homemade tortillas. Tortillas. So I'd like to try that today, as well as the house, getting things done. So that's and a dessert. So it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna stop yapping, because we're never gonna get anything done if I keep talking. So you ready? All right, let's go. Okay, so the kitchen's not that bad. I'm just gonna wipe it down. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of wiping, clean up my sink, and then I'm gonna start on some bread dough. So, because I've got multiples that I want to do today. So that way I can just keep it rolling, let it rise all at the same time, so I can, complete it all together. So for now, let's just wipe the counters up. Okay, so kitchen is pretty much cleaned up. I'm gonna throw my bread in together in just a minute, but my washing machine, that is, needs to be flipped, but I wanna take my bedding and wash it. So let me just go like this. Let me take the rest of the bed off, and then we'll throw it in the washer. Okay, perfect. I just used my linen spray in there. That stuff is amazing. I can't wait to, I just ordered the summer essential oil collection smell. You look on Amazon, I get everything, right? Let me bring it here. We make it. Essential oils just used to be like, the name brand ones, and you couldn't get like yummy flavors and yummy smells. So now they have everything, because it's all not real, but it doesn't matter, because it's just for cleaner. So I just ordered one, and it was, this is still a little damp, but I'm gonna hang it on my door. I ordered the one, and it's a summer collection, or summer beach or something, so it should have coconut, and I can't remember all the other scents, but they had that one, they had a fall one, and a winter one. So hopefully I'll be able to get the fall one. I don't know, there's like 5 or 6 bottles, which will last me forever. I had 3, they lasted me a few months here for sure. So we'll see how much we actually use, but I might make sure to get some more, make sure boil the alcohol so I can make my little spritzer, the center, because I really like that. Okay, let me flip this. Okay, let's go this way. And hang this up on the door here so it dries. And then we'll go back in the kitchen, we'll make our bread up. Okay, let's get our bread going here. I'm gonna double the recipe for bread because 2 loaves, I wasn't sure how 2 loaves, like when I first made it, we had them for a little bit. You don't want bread too long because they dry up, but they ate it up, and I had some store bread. I don't have any store bread. And one thing I'm gonna do is make grilled cheese today with the dough, so with the bread, so that way so it'll get used up, and then I want to have sandwiches for Greg for the week, so this way there will be enough. Okay, so let me get my salt. Okay, so the recipe, it's originally from Mama Bell's. I'm sure she got it from somebody too, just like everybody else, and so but hers is a little bit different, so I tweaked mine based on what I had. And so this is for 2 loaves. It's a tablespoon of yeast, 2 cups of water, and a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 tablespoons of oil. So I use coconut oil because that's what I have, and I'm using it up. I put it in the sink so it would get nice and melty. So we're just I'm gonna do 4 because I'm doing double. So this works. This is really good. I've not made, yeah, it's 8 cups of flour it'll be total for me. So I'll be excited to see how my dough machine does with that massive mouse. Let me add my flour. Okay, I added my 6 cups of flour. I'm gonna have to add 9 cups, 9 cups. So I'm gonna kind of let that mix real well. Then I'll add the rest. I'm gonna fill my coffee containers up. Okay, bread dough is done. It's right here. I'm gonna put this in the oven and let it rise in the smaller one. Let's do that. Let's turn the light on, that'll do it. So I'm gonna do, again, this is where I'm like questioning life, how much of everything, but I think that since we don't have a lot, we have food, but I have to make everything. Okay, I think I'm gonna make double. Did I just do 4? I think I did. 1 more just in case. I'm gonna make double the batch of bagel dough because I don't feel like I don't have a lot of food at home. Like I do, like I have to make everything, mind you, but like there's not like a lot of extra. So I feel like these are something that we can grab for, you know, breakfast and eat, even though I have the bread, because the bread we use for sandwiches, stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna be good. I'll let you know. Rarely, I mean, there's times where I always have too much, and I'm like, I'll just make a little bit. But I feel like this week, the kids will be home all week, and they'll have to go out for a little bit, but not like they normally do, so I feel like it'll be good. I gotta make sure I'm doing this right, doubling it. So my recipe is, let's make sure I'm doing this right. 1 batch is 2 teaspoons of yeast and 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 1 1/3 cup of water, and then you're gonna add 3.5 cups of bread flour. So I'm just gonna turn this on and add that. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do, I've got the 2 doughs done, is make some tortillas. I've never made homemade tortillas before. My girlfriend did, and I was like, you know why I didn't? Because it was cheap buying them at the discount store. When you can buy things at the discount store for so cheap, you just get them that way. So now they don't have access. I mean, I have access to the discount store, but I'm just not there all the time. So it's all good. So we're gonna make some ourselves. So I plan on doing 2 dishes where I need it this week, but I'll make today's and see how it goes. If it goes good, I'll make more. The update, you know, the key lime pie. Remember when I made that and I substituted the fake sweetened condensed milk in there? Okay. If I would have just done exactly what I did the first time, bake it for exactly long and not go, I need to do longer. No, I need to not do longer. I need to leave it. It would have been fine. So I had overcooked it. The texture would have been fine. It was, when you cook it too long, the lime overpowers with the milk and it kind of tastes very limey, like too limey, like it's not good. But I've learned, okay, so just go with the first one, Amy, because the first time I made it was perfect. I just need to do that again. So with all that said, I didn't get to eat all of my pie. I ate most of it, not all of it, but a few pieces where I was like, okay, I need to redo this. So that is on my list to get when I go back to the grocery store, because I think that will be, I know it's delicious. So I just had to update you on that, because I was like, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, is it good, is it not? I feel like it's one of, you make it and then I gotta make it a few times to get to the realm of like, all right, this is good, like bagels. It took me a long time to make those over and over and over until I'm like, okay, I got a routine of what works good. Same thing with everything in life. So the tortillas are gonna be the same way. So I'm just looking at one recipe here. So it says to take 2/3 cup of very warm water and dissolve a teaspoon of salt in it. And then I think you add, let's see, do you add a fork to combine the flour with the oil? Okay, so can I just do it in my dough machine? Can you do it in your dough machine, or do you have to mix it by hand? That's a question for. So this one right here, I gotta go get, this is 2 cups of regular flour. The last batch I took out of here, I kind of grabbed the bread dough in there. You can tell it's a little bit separate from the bagel, and I was kind of kneading it into the bagel dough so that way I had all of that out of here. So let's just see. So we're gonna do 2 cups in here. Okay, that, and that's 5 tablespoons of cooking oil. This looks a little, 1, 2, it's melted, 3, 4, 5, okay. Okay, the dough is nice and soft. I'm sure it'll be just fine. So I'm gonna let this sit here. It says you can let it sit for 2 hours. So I'm gonna have to put on my ferment sending here. Okay, so that's gonna sit there. What I'm gonna do is, we're still gonna clean. We're still gonna clean, but I'm making a few things. One thing on my list, so I have on my bread made, which is good, is something called Billionaire Bars. Recipe found in a cookbook, and I was like, I can make that. So the one thing you needed was sweetened condensed milk. That's why I bought 4 cans, and I used 2 for my key lime pie, half for the Twix candy bars, and I was gonna use another one for this recipe. Well, I used it for my key lime pie. So I'm like, I can make it. Now, last time I just did a quick Google, and Google showed me one, and then you need to thicken that sweetened condensed milk. It needed to get thicker to go in my recipe. It was fine, but you can make it, and it said, I did another recipe. And I'm like, okay, we need to do this. So this one has, it says to use evaporated milk, which I have. So I'm gonna do, it says milk and sugar in a saucepan, let it dissolve, and then reduce it, simmer for 45 minutes. And it should turn into sweetened condensed milk. So this will be good. And basically I'm gonna make, does anybody remember, I wanna say they're like magic cookie bars. Do you remember those? That's what the recipe, looking at it, reminds me of. Like, I remember having it, and it was like, it reminded me of that. So that's what it kind of looks like. So something different. I'm trying to do a little different. It's a good thing. A little different's always good. What did I make this weekend that nobody ate? The calico beans. No, they did not. Greg liked them, and I like them. He's like, no, those are good. I haven't had those in a long time. The kids were like, canned baked beans. I'm like, those are grandma's calico beans. At least try them. They're like, So no, I will not be making calico baked bean. I mean, I may again, just if I want to eat it, but it was good. I ate them. I thought they were delicious, but I had to laugh. But I was like, yeah, kids are not into, don't mess up what they got. They like it. So I'm doing these. These are something new though, billionaire bars. Okay, so milk is in there, and then it's gonna be one cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of white sugar. 1, 2, and then we're just gonna heat up in the stove and let that sugar dissolve. It's all good. Next time when I make my other pie, I'll get a bottle of that stuff and know it makes 2 pies. So I'll make double. I just didn't know if I love the key lime or not. Okay, so this is just gonna dissolve. We're gonna let it boil for simmer. Don't boil, let it simmer for 45 minutes. All right, then you add butter on that. Okay, awesome. So that's gonna be that. So then we can make our billionaire bars when it gets a little bit closer. Let me pick up my mess here, and then gotta figure out what's to clean. Okay, one thing I want to do out here is I want to get the vacuum rolling. I would love to do a hand vacuum and my hand mop everything, but it's not the reality today, and that's okay. We'll have other things I got to do. They didn't do school last week, so the stuff that we were supposed to do, we'll do this week. So that's okay. We're home. It'll be good to do. It's not full-blown school, but it's just a little bit of stuff, so I don't want to spend my time hand washing where I can focus on that. So I'm going to straighten the couch because we lounged down here. What did we watch this weekend? We watched The Chosen. I know they released it on YouTube. I think I saved the video, and it was like Sunday. I don't even know what day I didn't get to it until like, I don't know if it was a week later or the next, whatever it was. By the time I watched it, and then I had fallen asleep. So the next day I got up and I'm like, oh, I have like 15 minutes. Let me watch the end of it. Well, they pulled the live stream off, and I was like, no. I totally missed it, but that's okay. I knew it was going to come out on Amazon Prime this weekend. And so this weekend we sat and watched the first 2 episodes on Amazon. So watch those, and then it was just, like I said, it was a chill day, so I ended up watching the series David on Amazon. That's pretty good. I'm only on 5 episodes. I got 2 more. I don't binge watch anything. Nothing. Like the shows we binge watch are Bringing Up the Bates. We watched growing up. We watched the Duggars, the new Duggar one. We watched like Little House Prairie, you know, Waltons, those kind of shows. But I don't binge watch anything like at all. That's just not me. I rarely watch shows. And so I saw that before, and I was just sitting here. I was like, you know what? Let me watch it. And it was great because I was watching it, and then I got to like look back and forth, like biblically, to see like what is that the story, or is that added, or what are they doing? Because there's a few things they add to it, obviously, but it was very good, very, very good. So I still got to finish that. I'm looking forward to finishing that. So I watched that. So it was a lounge on the couch kind of afternoon. So I'm just going to straighten it, spray it with my nice spray because it smells so good, and then we'll vacuum. Maxine's like, is there something for me? Nothing for you, Maxine. The girls did like a really cute picture this weekend where they got some pictures printed up, and they made their own little like collage, like photo frame with their pictures and like stickers and little extra, like some had palm, like Maddie's was bee themed, so she had like a bumblebee, and then she had like cute background paper. They went to Hobby Lobby and got some cute stuff. Autumn, and so Maddie's was that fun, quirky kind of thing, because that's Maddie's personality, and Autumn is my like romantic pink floral and pearls. That's her kind of aesthetic. So hers was all of that, and then Brooklyn, she was just very aesthetic with the way hers looks very nice and clean and good. And so it was so cute. They all brought their little pictures. I was sitting there reading, and I looked, I'm like, how fun. They're like 3 different personalities, and I'm like, just fun things. So there was little picture scraps in the ground. So that's okay, that's done. So out here I'm gonna run the vacuum. Let's go into the bedroom, I guess, and we'll work in there because we're waiting for stuff to rise. Let me check my sweetened condensed milk over here. I'm staring at the rugs. I'm like, they could be washed, but I'm like, I just did that last week. So let me just spray them. It'll give a nice scent. Okay, then we can start the vacuum. The burner was off on the stove. Let me just spray this one. Looks like it's a nice little, this stuff is good. It's so yummy. Okay, let me turn my vacuum on and we'll go in here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is vacuum my floor. I'm gonna do the regular vacuum in here. I find that doing that at least once a week gets all the heavy dust and mites and dog fur and everything else out, and then I can do my robot vacuum on the other day. So I'm just gonna vacuum in here real good, and then wait for actually I do have extra bedding. I might do the new bedding, put that on, and then wait for this to dry and stick it on. listening to Francis Chan. Do you guys remember Francis Chan? Haven't heard his sermons in a long time, and I just happened to find one in his, and I'm like, I like it because he's not a 501c3 pastor. Used to be a huge pastor, and then felt like it got too much of like people idol worshiping, I guess, and too big. So he went back to smaller communities to preach, just to be, what's the word, blunt and real, which you don't get in many churches at all, because no one, especially with social media, you don't want to say anything because you just get slammed the wrong way and turned, so people are too afraid to say the right thing, to say the truth, because of those issues. So I like it. So very good. Francis Chan, go check him out. Got lots of good, I think it's called Crazy Love is his church. Type in his name, it'll show up on YouTube. So okay, let's vacuum. All right, I think this weekend I ran the robot vacuum upstairs, and then the kids said to me, I don't know, the vacuum was smelling funny. It was smoking. I'm like, smoking? I'm like, my vacuum was smoking? I'm like, the robot vacuum, it'll go get something sucked up and it just stops. It looks like, I think this one on the bottom is supposed to have a belt for the bars, so someone probably sucked something up. This was probably the one that was smoking. So I need to get down to that because it's not working. So let me look a little bit. There it is. So I haven't had to replace a vacuum hose in years, like a long time ago. Thank goodness there's a number. So I have to get this. I'm gonna leave these screws off, and we'll just wait till we get that. This is probably what was smoking. I have to ask the kids, are you sure it was this and not the tiny vacuum? You didn't see this? So, all good things. All right, so I guess I don't have to vacuum today. I'll have to order that belt there, and then double check on my vacuum upstairs to make sure that is working. I put it back on the charger to see if that's it, but I'm pretty sure it's probably just the belt being melted, and so that's okay, it happens. So what I'm gonna do now, so vacuums are rolling. I'm not gonna clean my bathroom today. I'm gonna do that another day. I've just picked it up, and laundry's going, hanging up clothes, yada yada. Let's finish food because the kids will want some lunch today. So the bread dough is done. It's all risen, so I'm gonna punch it down, divide it up. I've got 4. I was trying to think how many bread pans I had because I used to have 8. And so before I left the mountains, I gave the rest to Lauren because I knew she'd be baking. And these are nice. You get the nice stainless steel pans. You have them for your life. Get these, invest once, you never have to buy them again. Those last you forever. I've had these for eons. So I have enough for 4. So I'll break my dough into 4, put it in here, put it in the oven so it can rise up in there, and then the bagels, I didn't even check, those are probably ready, and then I'll start on. I grab hamburger and refried beans from my freezer. Those are just in some water, and then I'm gonna make that for our tacos, and I'll make some soup. Okay, I was listening to that message and I got very much into it. It's very, very good. I think is it Perfect Love Casts Out Fear? That's really good. Very, very good. So by Francis Chan. So the hamburger and refried beans. Now my hamburger, this is beef, and then I ended up, it looks like it's ground chicken maybe in there. It's white. I'm assuming it's just my ground chicken. I think I had a little bit left over cooked and I ended up throwing it in with my beef. That's why it's white in there. But that is the flavor of the new taco seasoning. I like that one better. I actually like that one a whole lot better. So this is good. So this will go into the refrigerator for later for dinner. Then I'm just working through what I can. I'm still boiling the sweetened condensed. I put the bread in the oven. The bread I just turned on. That's baking. The sweetened condensed milk that I'm making here, I don't know. It said let it boil for 45 minutes. It's been over 45 minutes. It's like done. It's still boiling. They're simmering. So I just don't know. I don't know. It like will it thicken as it gets set? I don't know. It's like, is this the time to shut it off? It's got stuff over there. So I may shut it off, and then I guess all you can do is see. I'm not really sure. I was gonna. You can add butter or what's that called? Flavoring, but I'm not going to because I don't have very much. So I'm just gonna assume that as this cools, it will turn into what I need. We'll try. So we'll just let it sit over here for now. Okay, so then this is the bagels are next. So those are gonna go in a pot of, it's not yet boiling water. I'll dump those in there, and then I'll probably stir on my soups next because the bread will be done and the kids can have tomato soup and grilled cheese for lunch. So yay, on the good thing. I'm like, this is going very well. So good days when you have great days. And I just gotta make sure the bread cooks good. We don't have any burning issues or too browned or anything. I had my oven on high bake. I just turned it on to low so it wouldn't get too much. So I think we are good. That was some good dough in there. It's nice and fluffy. So okay, let's get this, and then I'll get my ingredients for my soups. Okay, I was gonna put the bagels on the bottom, but realized that I moved the rack down so the bread would fit in there nicely. So I will have to wait for a few minutes till the bread is done, and then I'll put that in. So I'm gonna make kid-friendly tomato soup from my cookbook right here. I'm gonna be redoing this for like a way smaller version. I think that's gonna be beneficial. I have my kids are on their own. A lot of, well, not all of them. Well, yes, a lot of them are on their own, but as these next group go out on their own too, they like making stuff that you make at home. So, but everything's huge or bigger. So I'd love to do a smaller size of the favorites and a lot of the new ones, because this next group, I call my next group of kids. It's like I have my first set and the second set, even though they're just further apart, like 5 years between the older ones and the younger ones. And so the next set has, we ate a lot of these, but we do have a lot of new things that we've added to our meals. And so I'm gonna be coming up with that soon, people, soon, as life slows down. So what I'm gonna do is make tomato soup. What I found, because there's always, you can always, like I go through and test, can I just throw it all in a pan and then just use the immersion blender? Yes, you can. You don't even have to go the step-by-steps. You can do the step-by-steps, go ahead. I'm not going to. What I'm gonna do is, in here I'm gonna double it, because I'm thinking that if I do this, I'm like, then they can have grilled cheese for a few days and tomato soup for a few days. So I think this is gonna work. So what I am gonna do, basically put everything in here. So I'm doing double. 2 tablespoons of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, and then you're gonna add like a pinch of baking soda, 2 cups of milk, can of tomato sauce, the 16-ounce one, basil, paprika, garlic, salt, and pepper, that's it. I'm gonna go put it on my stove, let it come to a boil, use that immersion blender. It's like I don't even have to do anything, so simple. tomato soup bouillon. That's what I added to it. That's a little kicker that makes it so good. Okay, so I just took the bread out, put the bagels in. The soup just boiled away. All I did was stir. I didn't have to use the immersion blender, so that's good. I'm gonna do broccoli soup here. I'm gonna melt butter in here. I'm gonna saute some onion and some of the roasted garlic in there. Put a little bit of carrot chopped up and frozen broccoli. It's gonna be delicious, yummy, and easy. What I found is you don't have to wash your bread pans, just put it back in the cupboard because I'll be making more of it. This, my goal right here is going to be to use my immersion blender in here because when we put broccoli in it, sometimes we like it all pureed up, not all of it, but for a lot of it. So there is bigger chunks of onions in here and carrot. So I'm going to take my immersion blender and kind of blend it when it gets cooked out. So I'm just sauteing it here until it's nice and soft. Then I'm going to add in flour, and then I'll add chicken bouillon and water, and then some of this broccoli, not all of it, about half of it, or about a quarter of it, let it come to a boil. It'll kind of cook the rest of the carrots, and I'll use my immersion blender, and then I'll add the rest of the broccoli, and we'll just continue to cook it, and we'll cook it, and then we'll have that. We'll have this. I've got the bread. This batch right here was a little more, bakers know why this happened. The last batch just didn't do that, but I've definitely doubled it, and it'll still taste delicious. It's all about the taste. It's delicious. This is looking. Tomato soup is good. Where's my mixture? The tomato soup is really good. I didn't even have to. It got thick real good. Real good. You can add more milk to it if you like it thinner. That's actually perfect. All right, I've lived here for how long? 2 years. This weekend was our anniversary when we bought the house, and every time I open up the oven, the top rack rolls out. Always does. Someone said you might need to level your oven. And I'm like, how do you level your oven? People, I know. I don't know why I didn't think. I was like, no big deal. There are legs in the bottom, and all I did was just twist them. And they twisted, and then you know what? It's not coming out anymore. I'm like, why would I not have done it? Watch. It doesn't even come out. Amazing. Learn something new every day. That is so funny. I'm like, I've dealt with that for 2 years, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with the oven. Just cook and do your thing. Okay, this is looking good here. Sauteed good. Like I said, let me get my flour. You want enough to absorb the butter, so I did about 1 stick of butter, so say about a half a cup of flour. You just want to stir it till it absorbs it all, because that's going to be your thickener. And then I've got to get my water out, which I did not get out. I'll add chicken bouillon, and this will thicken right up. Okay, I won't put all of it in because we're just gonna blend that up. We're just gonna blend that up with things. So just let this come to a boil. I did use my immersion blender on that because I was stirring it and I was like, taste it. And I'm like, okay, it tastes good. I'm like, why don't I taste the sweetness of the sugar? Like as much. And I'm like, I know I usually always add enough. Well, I happened to stir it and there was a big lump of white stuff. So I'm like, let me grind it up, blind it up. So I did put it in there, and then I'm like, okay, it literally was caught up in a ball of flour or something. So that's good. So that has been doing its thing. That's already done. I have to do the soup here. We're gonna let this come to a boil, and then we'll just let it boil for a few minutes. I have a lid right here. Let this do its thing here. Waiting on the things in the oven. Let me check my milk. You guys, it thickened up. Look at it. There's a couple of lumps in there. Condensed milk. So I'm sure that evaporated milk is cheaper than condensed milk. I'm sure it is. So that will be, maybe that's what I'll do, is buy the evaporated milk, because it's called the thicker milk. You can use regular, it just doesn't get as thick. So, okay, awesome. So I gotta wait on the broccoli cheddar. Let me get the stuff out for the billionaire bars, because you know it's worth $1 billion. Okay, the billionaire bars, the recipe I'm reading, and it says you basically make a butter cookie base. So you're gonna line 9x13 with foil, it says. I bet you I can use parchment paper, right? Lightly mix it till it holds together like a dough. And so I'm thinking, can I just put it in the food processor? I hope I can. That's because that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So I don't have to really like mix it. So you're gonna add in here a half a cup of white sugar. Half a cup of white sugar. This says 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I wonder, like, you know how I just made my own brown sugar? Could recipes just use regular sugar and then just use like molasses? Like, why don't they do that? Think about that, because you can make your own brown sugar by substituting with molasses. Why doesn't recipes just use regular sugar and then do like a tablespoon of molasses? There's a thought. I don't know. There's something to do. I mean, who knows? You guys know better more than I do. And it's a pinch of salt. I'm skipping that space because, like, there's always, or no, I'm sorry, don't skip it, because I was thinking I'm not using salted butter. I'm using margarine. I know. I'm going to. That's okay. And then it's a cup of butter. So we're going to add all this in there with the flour. So let's do one of these. It's going to be 2 1/4 cup of flour. Like I said, I've never made these before. These are new. Just a recipe I saw, and I'm like, come on, let me try making them. It's like the magic. I bet you if I looked up the recipe for magic cookies, I bet you it's about the same. Okay, 2. I'll do that after this starts mixing. 1/4 cup. Okay, so where's my other stick? Right here. Let me put this in here, and then we'll turn it on. Save me some work. I turned my oven back on high bake because I wanted to get a little like browner for the bagels, and so then I was just switching it around. And then I was asked to make rice tonight instead of tortillas for a child. So I'm like, let me throw in I was gonna do because I'm gonna do tacos. So instead of everybody having tortilla, there can be some rice in there too. Or I have nachos too. I'm gonna get out my nacho cheese that I have and use that with our chips. Okay, so wow, that's like a lot of cookie. Let me push this down in here. Just lightly do it in there and prick it with a fork. Bake it for 25 minutes. All right. Okay, so I was looking, so you're basically baking. This is not like the magic cookie bars. Those were just more of like sprinkle and pour and it does its thing. So this is gonna be cookie base. Then the middle base is another half a cup of butter. I know, and it's that whole can of condensed milk, which I have boiling right here, and I just had to be cold, but actually I have to reheat it up. And then you're adding half a cup of brown sugar. So we're gonna let this come, let's see. So yeah, lots of sugar. So right here, heat this over low heat and heavy saucepan. Let mixture simmer and stir constantly until it thickens. Until it turns to a medium caramel color, which it has pretty good because, you know, the canned milk. So I will just let that heat up, do its thing. Pretty cool how your whole morning turns into a cooking morning without much cleaning. So because we have to eat, this is a good thing. So I'm adding to this paprika, a little bit of garlic in here. I've got parsley. I shut my rice off, put the cookies in the oven. Maybe a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So now this, what I do to add to this is that's just going to continue to simmer. I usually just add milk to it because we have it. This is not something, Jensen doesn't like this one, he likes that one, so I don't mind using regular milk, but I have a little bit of milk, enough, I just got to go to the store, but I have a lot of heavy whipping cream. I had expectations of making all these wonderful pies, which I still will actually, so I'm just going to add a little bit. I just thought I can still do that this week because this is expensive, so I'm going to add some of this in there because heavy whipping cream will make it thicker, and you can add, it just makes it creamier. You can add milk as well. So this is it, and then I'm adding cheese. The cheese I'm adding is right here. Canned cheddar. We'll be using this tonight as well. Look at that little one. So I'm going to take in a plop. You can use regular cheese. I don't know. This is just cheesier. It's just more solid. You go to a restaurant, they're not putting shredded cheese in it. They're putting canned cheese in it. You know they are. Because otherwise it'd be all stringy and separated. So look at that. Open, use this still. Okay, so to stir that, just I gotta keep mixing here. The rice I shut off because it was absorbing the liquid. This is so good. Make your own soup. Once you have Panera's and then you have this one and you're like, okay, homemade is 10 times better, 10 times better. If you don't make it right the first time, do it a few times. You just gotta add the right spices and the right stuff to make it taste good. Spices are life. Look at that, that looks so good. That looks perfect, actually. Then what I'm gonna do is, tonight is going to be taco slash nachos. We got a lot of those tortilla chips in those small bags. We got like 50 in a packet. And so tonight we'll do tacos with our tortillas. I'm gonna get that out next. But something we can have is like, I think you go to Taco Bell. I mean, we haven't been to Taco Bell since the mountains. But where you go to Taco Bell, you get a little container of nacho cheese and chips to dip. So that's what we're gonna do for this. So this will be like a side. So I'm only gonna put a little bit. It's funny how when we did this, like with the large family, I used to think you use so much cheese, but in reality, it's like the little plastic containers I use. Like one of those is a lot. So you'd be surprised how much you don't actually use. So I'm just gonna keep this right here. I should put the rest in containers because I think I'm done. Am I done with cheese for the week? I'm pretty sure I am. I am actually. So let me get containers and we'll pour it in there. Okay, these are gonna go in the freezer. This will last for a lot of 4 more meals for sure, for macaroni and cheese, whatever you wanna have. So kids want to have grilled cheese. So I'm gonna cut the new bread here, make grilled cheese over here. Cookies are still doing its thing. Bagels I'll take up. I was like, what is that noise? It's like somebody's cutting something. I don't know what. Anyways, okay, let me get my knife out. Make some grilled cheese here. Homemade bread. Maxine just came down like she's all excited to see me. I'm like, it's like you haven't been here all day, but I think she went upstairs to stay with the kids. So, okay, this, I'm just gonna put butter on it. We're gonna fry it over here. Sandwiches, it's good, look at that. It's just nice bread, very, very good bread. Okay. Okay, the kids just came and got their grilled cheese. They're like, your grilled cheese and tomato soup is the best ever, Mom. I'm like, really? Is it better than like stuff at the store and like Panera? Because that's where they go out to eat a lot. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, oh. So they're very sweet kids. So they're eating that for lunch. What else? I have to wait for the cookie base. It came out of the oven. It's gotta cool. So I kind of want to hurry the process along, but I think I'm gonna wait. This needs to cool right here. Let me just stick it like here. Let it sit here and cool off. And I'm gonna add the caramel layer. Then you're supposed to let it cool completely. Then you're gonna melt chocolate chips. I thought you just put it on top. Chocolate chips and white chocolate, and you kind of swirl it on top. So I don't know, we'll see why it's called a billionaire bar, but that's good. We ate this much bread. The first loaf is gone, so you can see why I made 4. Yay on that, but we got all the bagels right here. Those are delicious and yummy. Look at all those. And then the next thing to do is the tortillas, I think. I just gotta roll those out into little discs. So I think I might get that going because time frame, then I can be done and work on everything else with the kids. And then I just saw this. Remember these? These are our, oh, it did move bigger. Okay, this is our, what's this thing called? The sea bean. So I put it in water because I was like, oh, it'll just like start sprouting eventually. After then we Googled it again, you gotta drill a hole in it. Hello? So in my head, Greg's like, yeah, it's been in the ocean for like 30 years, honey. How is it gonna sprout if it hasn't sprouted in 30 years? It's not gonna sprout in a little jar. So I'm like, duh, completely. So we drilled a little hole in here, and it has gotten bigger, I just realized that. But it said only like 24 hours, and then it was gonna kind of push through, but obviously that didn't do anything. Is this one? So I don't even know if it's gonna come out of the hole or what. This one we did the same thing. We just drilled a hole in it. I don't know. So we're gonna just kind of see. So it said change the water, but it only said 24 hours. It's been 48 hours. So we're just gonna, that one bigger one to get a little bit bigger. So we'll see how it works, but I'm like, but I had to laugh. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I tell my viewers, look at me, I'm soaking my beans so it can get big. I'm like, he's like, honey, it's been in the ocean for over 30 years. I'm like, yes, it has. Look at things, you don't even like think about. So, oh, great. Okay, let's get out. I think the tortillas, you just roll them out and then you fry them. I could like kind of clean my mess up a little bit over here and take like the rice out. Let me see here. Because again, if the kids are here, I want to focus on life. So, oh yeah, there's the batter here. The other stuff I'm going to just soak here. So I think you just divide it into 10 and then roll it out as best you can. I know you can use like a tortilla press. Those are things to invest in if you really, look how nice that dough is, wow. If you really like doing something, like we were liking to make those homemade wontongs. No, we got the little holders for it and made them. I'm like, it was more work to do that than it was just to make it. So kind of wait and see what you actually use and what you don't. So actually I'm gonna take this, cut this up into 12 pieces. I just use a knife. So, you know, since this is my first time doing this, I won't do everything, you know. I'll show you all my mistakes. So we'll see how this works. Let's just cook it for a few minutes. So problem is you're gonna have to be on your next one because that one's gonna brown real quick. So I'm gonna have to go back and forth and keep rolling out here. I think that's where that tortilla press would come in handy. But again, we're just trying this out here. So just a few minutes it says. Yeah, just keep rolling. Keep rolling in between. A tortilla, we'll have to see how it rolls. These got to be 10,000. These are the store ones, right? After you make them for the first time, you're like, why have I never done this before? I feel like that will be the case. It's all about the factor of they're so cheap when you can get them cheap. But if you can make them yourself, that's a good thing. Okay. My stove is just heating up. That's why I think it's taking a little bit longer. It's almost there. I just have it on a lower setting, and it just kind of turned on here. So I didn't preheat it. So I will just keep smushing these out while that is doing it. This thing will just be a different shaped tortilla. I guess if you roll it to a perfect ball, well, it won't roll out perfectly. Well, that's where the press comes in, right? It would just smash it perfectly. But since it's me using the dough thing, I think I just have to do what I can do. Okay, I'm excited to make some naan bread. And I was thinking, someone mentioned making my own gyros again. I'm like, I haven't made that in so long. And making my own pita bread, or the one that they sell at Sam's Club where it's got the holes in it. I think it's like I don't know if it's a Greek bread or what it's called, but I think I'd like to make that for them. So it's on the list. Okay, there's one. So it's thicker. It's not gonna be as thin, but then that's probably a better tortilla, right? Versus a thinner one. Again, we'll learn and we'll do this together. All new things. Okay, maybe since I've turned the tortillas down, they don't cook that fast, so that's a good thing. If I turned them up, then I guess I'd be more concerned about burning. So I've been able to do dishes, get things done. I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing great. So this is the cookie layer. So what I'm gonna do, I've got one more tortilla here. I am going to pour my caramel mixture over top. After I do one more here. The big one. Okay, we're gonna pour this over top, and this is let cool completely. It can be delicious, and then you basically do melt chocolate and kind of swirl it. I think billionaire bars will be quite nice. I got my rice done here. The only thing left is going to be to put my soups away, my bagels away, and then chop up lettuce for the toppings there. Got dishes done, then kids will come in and do work on school. Great day. Here's my homemade tortillas. I'm going to see how they turn out. Let's get a little thumbnail here action. I'm going to see how they turn out. I'll let you know because I'm going to be editing. I like to get my dinners done so I can edit. So either tell you in today's video when I'm editing, or I'll tell you tomorrow how they turned out. So this is good. Okay, what do we got to do? We got to get lettuce out, chop that up. Let me wipe the counters off here because I'll keep put my bagels away, and we'll be good, looking good. Are you kidding? So I took cheese out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator. The lettuce isn't looking very good. I was like, it's good. Do what you gotta do, right? When you got a little bit that's not looking the prettiest, you just gotta do what you can do. So I have my soups all in containers. Everything's washed up except that pan because I think there's gonna be a grilled cheese made still. The billionaire bars just have to wait. The cookbook doesn't have a picture, so I just did a quick Google. I'm like, oh, literally, I'm basically making the Twix bars I made earlier this week. I'm like, it looks like the same thing almost. It's okay. So because it's got the cookie, it's a caramel, and I have chocolate on top. So I think I will make that. So this is it. So what I'm gonna do now is, what am I gonna do? I have nothing else to do for you. Dinner will be the tacos. Maybe I'll show you what the finished taco looks like if I get a chance right here. That's gonna be the tacos, and then let's make the billionaire. Yeah, I still gotta film billionaire bars. I'm thinking, do I stop? Then the billionaire bars, this is what they look like here. Awesome. So it is earlier in the afternoon. This is the thing with kids are home. I want to spend the rest of my afternoon with them, getting things accomplished. So I'm closing today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Oh my goodness, for a Monday, we did a whole lot of cooking here. We got food for a little bit. I'm gonna have to make some food tomorrow, but you know, we got some good bases down this week. So you have a fantastic rest of your day. Come back tomorrow. We got 52 weeks, and then the next day we'll do some more food. So, all right, it may be boring. It may be the humdrum of life. That's what I got going on here too. So if we can do it together and be encouraged, that's a beautiful thing. So, all right, I'll see ya. Bye.